right, it's going to be kind of cool. But until they do, it's going to kind of suck. All right. Anyway, we are officially live now, so I should probably shut up. Display while I start spinning everything else up.
My dad was really, really special, and I loved my dad a lot.
I'm proud of him, and that even though he isn't here with us, but he died as a true hero.
I miss everything about him.
In the moment that the officers and I had to come see the children, my biggest reaction was, I don't have 7 arms. I have 7 children who just lost their father, and I don't have 7 arms to wrap around them.
I'm Frank Silla, chairman of the Stephen Silla Tunnel to Towers Foundation. Our foundation is committed to delivering mortgage-free homes for Gold Star families and fallen first responder families.
To not have to worry financially is a huge peace of mind. The thought of, what in the world will I possibly do to pay the bills? How will I possibly let the children have a life that feels normal? I don't want them to have to quit their piano lessons or their basketball. I don't want them to feel that we have to move into a little apartment and struggle financially in addition to the emotional weight.
There are over 1,000 families that need our help. Tunnel to Towers is honoring those heroes that risked their lives by providing them with mortgage-free homes.
Those who serve us and then lay down their lives protecting our freedoms and our safety, the least we can do is $11 a month to give them that peace of always knowing there's a home, there's that sanctuary when life feels like it's been tipped upside down, because it has. When you lose a parent in the line of duty, to know you can go home, you can be safe, there's no risk of losing your home. That's a peace of mind that I can't believe you can get for $11 a month.
I'd like to ask you to contribute $11 a month to support their efforts.
Please donate $11 a month by calling 1-844-BRAVEST or visit tunneltotowers.org.
You are listening to KLRN Radio, where liberty and reason still reign.
I'm Jordan Klinger, an attorney at McIntyre Law. The decision to hire an attorney after you've been injured is important. The decision on who to hire is even more important. At McIntyre Law, we will settle a case if the offer to our client is fair. Partial justice is no justice at all. At McIntyre Law, we are committed to obtaining full justice for our clients. Contact McIntyre Law at 405-917-5200 or visit us at mcintyrelaw.com.
In uncertain times, we could use someone to lean on. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Oklahoma will stand by you with plan options to fit your budget. If you've recently lost your job, had a baby, or moved, you can still get the healthcare coverage you and your family need. Financial help may be available for those who qualify. Call 855-452-BLUE or visit hereforyouok.com to see if you're eligible to enroll. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Oklahoma, a division of Healthcare Service Corporation, a mutual legal reserve company.
My son was in the Army back during Desert Storm, but even then he wanted an MBA. He looked at a dozen schools, but only one offered the online education and flexibility he needed while he was in a tent in Iraq, Grantham University. Turns out that Grantham's been delivering affordable, relevant college and advanced degrees for over 65 years. Heck, if they can deliver a quality education to a soldier in a tent overseas, think about the flexibility Grantham can offer you so you can earn your degree too. It doesn't matter how complicated or full your life is. If getting a degree is on your bucket list, you'll want to do what my son did. You'll want to call Grantham. Find out how easy it is to get started on your education so you can check that college degree off your bucket list. Call Grantham right now. 800-910-1370. That's 800-910-1370. Flexible, affordable, relevant. Call 800-910-1370.
Attention business owners and independent contractors. This is a money-saving message from Tax Mediation Services. If your business owes $20,000 or more in taxes, we can help you today, right now. Listen, dealing with the IRS is no picnic. It's an intimidating and extremely stressful process, and you don't want to go it alone. Our attorneys know every law, every tax break, and every possible opportunity to help you resolve and reduce your tax debt. And if you owe more than $20,000, you may be at the top of their hit list. So don't take your tax debt lightly, because it will not go away on its own. The IRS can seize your bank accounts, your home, and even shut down your business. Call our tax experts today at 1-800-783-0810 and let us deal with the IRS while you focus on your business. That's 1-800-783-0810. Again, that's 800-783-0810.
KLRN Radio has advertising rates available. We have rates to fit almost any budget. Contact us at advertising@klrnradio.com.
Hi, everyone. This is JJ, the co-founder of Good Pods. If you haven't heard of it yet, Good Pods is like Goodreads or Instagram, but for podcasts. It's new, it's social, it's different, and it's growing really fast. There are more than 2 million podcasts, and we know that it is impossible to figure out what to listen to. On Good Pods, you follow your friends and podcasters to see what they like. That is the #1 way to discover new shows and episodes. You can find Good Pods on the web or download the app. Happy listening.
The following program contains coarse language and adult themes. Listener discretion is advised.
Welcome, everyone, to another episode of He Said, She Said. I am your host, Aggie, and with me is my awesome co-host, Rick. How are you doing this evening?
Oh, hey, I'm sorry. Were you speaking? Holy crap! It's been a long week.
It has been a very long week. I didn't think it was.
I didn't think it was ever going to end, man. That's there's a very specific QR code in the corner. You know, I've noticed a lot of podcasters started doing this whole buy me a cup of coffee thing. No, fuck that. Buy Rick booze. That's what that one's for. Buy Rick booze. I watched the DNC, so you don't have to, and now I need booze.
Yeah, this is
Jesus.
I think we all need a healthy dose of it, or at least something with which to just erase certain mental images and a lot of the pablum that was spoken throughout the whole time.
That whole thing was, I mean, I know this isn't usually the show we used to talk about that kind of stuff, but that whole thing was just like freaking, I mean, that would have made Hitler's propaganda machine happy. They'd have had the Chris Matthews tingles going on after all that mess. That was just,
I don't know. I think Goebbels would have been really pissed off. They stole my shtick. He was not one to like he didn't like sharing the limelight. So he would have been pissed. But yeah, otherwise,
you do have a potential point there. You probably would have been a little unhappy about it, but good Lord, man, but yeah, I just and the funniest thing for me, right, is they're all talking about this, you know, going to be a surprise Republican guest, and there's going to be another surprise guest, and then everybody starts trying to float the idea that Beyonce was going to show up last night. Turns out Beyonce might have actually been there, and Kamala said no. If what I'm hearing is true, because she didn't want to be outshone.
that's a very big possibility. And as a matter of fact, I actually thought that may have been the case if it had not been for Oprah Winfrey being there. Because, yeah, I know that Beyonce is big, you know, it's music and blah, 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 and all that stuff. But Oprah has more pull than Beyonce does. And her pull is global, you know. So that's why I can see where she would be like, yeah, I already had to deal with Oprah. I'm not dealing with Bey. So no, you know, that kind of thing. But it could have been also that it was just a rumor started to get people to tune in. I mean, they're not, it's not outside the realm of possibility. Not with these people.
Oh no, and that's also just as much of a possibility. But anyway, yeah, no. So that was fun. That was 4 evenings of my life that went on much longer than they were supposed to. That I would love to get my life back. The funny thing is, I'm not even sure they're going to get much of a bump from the polls out of it because none of their primetime speakers were in primetime.
That is true. That is very true. So who knows? I I tuned into very little, but I did wanted to see. I wanted to see the carpetbagger. I wanted to see Adam Kinzinger. I really did. You know why? I wanted to see if he busted out crying, and sure enough, he got very emotional. But some of the stuff that he was saying, I was like, I'm just. Why do you keep pretending to be conservative?
You're not.
Yeah, I mean, it's like just give it up already. There is, if he's looking to do the whole thing like Max Boot did, he's going to be severely disappointed. And I think that's why he has not switched yet, because he saw what happened to Max Boot. So my guess is that he's going to keep screeching that he's conservative, but I'm working with the Democrats. And I'm like, if you really meant what you said, you would have stayed in what was left of your district. You would have stayed back in, what was it, Indiana?
I think so, yeah.
And you would have stayed there to fight for the conservative principles that you think are lacking in that area, but you didn't. He fled to Texas, and not just to Texas. He lives out in the Woodlands, which is right north of Houston. So, yeah, I'm not obsessed with the guy. I'm just like, every time somebody big like that comes in and decides to settle, it's important. And I tend to watch it because that means that's no good is going to come from it. And sure enough, no good is coming from it. So I've been watching him, carpet bagging little shit. Anyway,
tell us how you.
About. I know. I really do not like the guy. I would have far more respect, and that's not saying a lot because I have absolutely none. I think my level of respect for him is quite possibly imaginary numbers at this point, but I would at least have some modicum of respect if he would just actually admit and just say, yeah, I can't say that I'm conservative. I don't agree with any of the values that conservatism has, and I'm switching over to the Democrats. I would at least he'd be honest.
At least it would make sense. But yeah, no. But yeah, I mean, so here's the thing that I thought was the most interesting, right? Because last night was all kinds of work for me because I was live blogging for Twitchy. I was running the Beacon feed. I was trying to help Cranky keep the rails on for the stuff that he was doing on the station. I was like, but I kept seeing all these people that were like terrified because there was a rumor that got started by somebody that George W. Bush was going to speak at the DNC. And I'm like,
he wasn't even there. He wasn't even in.
I was like, one, I'm pretty sure he's not even in town. But
no, he's in Crawford right now.
I was like, even if he was going to, would it really surprise you that much that a globalist would be speaking at the DNC? I'm just saying.
Well, this is true. I would not have been surprised if he actually spoke at the DNC. And the thing is, he's not influential. The man has completely retired from politics. I mean, he doesn't come out and do anything anymore. And I'm very, very okay with this. Dude, go be a rancher. You know what you're doing over there. People love you in Crawford. As a matter of fact, he has, and it's not a political thing over there in Crawford either. Everybody likes him. He's a very likable man. He really is. So as far as politics go, he hasn't said anything. He hasn't come out and done anything in the past 3.5 years. Why would he do that now? And I honestly don't think he's a big fan of Harris. So I just, when they started sending that rumor around, I was like, Yeah, that's not happening. Somebody's sending that rumor, and it is absolutely not true. Now, another Bush, yeah, I could have seen Jeff Bush doing it. I could have seen
Yeah.
the, our former commissioner, railroad commissioner, George, I think it was. Also, I could see him doing it, but not this one. He's like, yeah, I'm out. He's completely retired. He's like, yeah, I don't give a shit anymore.
I don't blame him. I'd have been
I
like,
got
"Look,"
cows to take care of, that kind of thing.
he's
So
like, I done saved the world once. It's y'all's turn, fuckers.
yeah, I mean, he has his own business going. He has his own kitschy stuff. I mean, a lot of people don't know this, but he is actually a pretty decent painter, and so he has taken it upon himself to keep up with his, I guess, crafting activities, hobbies, that kind of thing, and he keeps a very low profile. So, like I said, when I heard that was a rumor, I was like, that is not happening. There is no freaking way. And just to make sure, yeah, I made a call, and sure enough, yeah, he hadn't left town. So no, I don't know people on the inside. I just happen to. There's one of my friends who collects the same kind of stuff that I do. We're in the same group, and she lives there, and so I asked her, and she was like, "No, you haven't left town."
why are you lying? We all know what your dad does for a living.
My dad's retired.
You know what he used to do.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. MD just corrected me. Illinois. And Kinsinger was from Illinois. I knew it was Indiana or Illinois. I wasn't sure which one it was. All I know is that he left with his tail between his legs and decided to become a tick and infest my state. That's all I know.
That wasn't his tail that he tucked, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, God. Visions of Grinder. No. That was horrifying. Okay, so moving on.
Okay, one last quick hit in the news, and then we'll move on to the topic. How about that RFK Jr. thing today?
You know what? I was just talking about this with one of the people I follow. He had posted the video of RFK Jr. being introduced in Glendale by President Trump, and you could hear the crowd, and you saw how excited they were and everything. What a lot of people weren't looking at was RFK's face, and of course, that's the first thing that I looked at was his face, and I was just like, this dude is completely taken aback. He did not know he was going to get such a welcome. He really didn't. And
because he's believed, you have to understand, up until 5 minutes ago, he believed everything the left ever said about Trump.
Yeah, I would give him 20 minutes because he has been very vocal about, especially being a witness firsthand of how the Democratic machine has tried to prevent him from being on the ballot. They have been filing lawsuits. They have, it has been egregious what the Democratic machine has been doing to RFK Jr.'s campaign. And, but, the man was raised in a very Democrat family. Their roots are completely Democrat. I mean, the Kennedys, So I think it did take him aback to see that people were very open and very welcoming to him. There's some people that I know are very skeptical. They think it's complete crap or whatever. And I'm like, I cannot be that cynical. I have to actually be more hopeful and be more positive, because once you start taking that cynical step and you're just going to be this nihilistic piece of dark matter and just take that black pill. No, I can't do that. I can't. I have to be more positive. And I do think that this is a good step. And this is the same. I remember when Zell Miller spoke at the RNC convention, and everybody was completely happy to have him there. And they all knew that he was a Democrat, and he was not changing parties. He was going to be a Democrat forever until the day he died, and he was. But he wanted to work with the Republican Party because he felt that the Republican Party had really good ideas. And he was being shut out by his own party because of those ideas that he also espoused for the people that he represented. So, this is not new. I've seen where people from one party will go to the other party's convention and speak, and try to form bridges. And technically, that's what Kinzinger was supposed to be doing, but that's not what he ended up doing. He ended up just going over there to trash talk the conservative movement and saying how it was not they were not conservatives anymore. And I'm like, how would you know? You've never been one. I was yelling at the TV a lot when he was on. And of course, I did the Leonardo DiCaprio thing, pointing at the TV when he started crying. I said, I fucking knew it. But there is a difference when somebody from the left comes into the RNC convention to speak about things, and when somebody from the right goes to the Democrat convention. I mean, that you can tell by the speeches that were given at each convention how different in outlook each of them was. One, like I said, Kinzinger was there, and all he did was trash talk the conservatives. All he did was say that, basically we are no longer conservatives. The Republicans are no longer the party of conservatism, blah, blah, blah. All he did was trash talk. He didn't try to build a bridge. He did not try to say, hey, you guys think of this thing that the conservatives are thinking about, and maybe you can build on that, or, that kind of thing. Not once. Not once did he say something to that effect. Whereas you had people on the left that did come to the RNC and say, hey, I've been paying attention. You guys are talking my language. I had these concerns and this and that and the other thing, and you guys have been addressing it. And I think there is room, for us to actually talk about this issue. And I saw that, So the thing with Robert Kennedy Jr. is, for me at least, it's very interesting, because I think this is a man who I don't agree with him. I think maybe not even 50%. There are some things that are just like, yeah, I don't agree with him at all. But that doesn't mean that he doesn't have some good arguments to make, and those things that I don't agree. He's not going to tell me, shut up, the science is settled. That's not what he's going to be telling me. And so that's why it makes a difference to me anyway.
Well, I mean, to me, the biggest thing is, because I'll be honest, it's not that I don't want to listen to him. It's that normally after a few minutes of that gravelly voice, I just start tuning it out. So today I carried his speech where he basically spun down his campaign for the Beacon. So I tried to pay really close attention to it, even though there towards the middle it started happening again. And one of the things that I thought was the most amazing is when he's basically explaining, these people are the authoritarians now, and they're trying to convince you that Donald Trump is the authoritarian. These people are the ones that have basically dismantled democracy in the name of saving it. Then he goes into the whole, big agra thing, and is like, they're manufacturing our food and it's killing us. And I would agree, because even I have started trying to cut out a lot of the processed food as much as I can, but it's so much more expensive to do that sometimes I still have to eat stuff that I probably shouldn't be eating. And every once in a while I have a cheat day like I had today. But it's just one of those things where, you start to realize that the scariest thing when you realize all of these things is you realize that it can't all be coincidence. There has to be a reason why they're packing our food with all this crap. There has to be a reason why they're putting all this weird stuff in our water. Like I heard from a friend of mine's doctor the other day that there is acetaminophen in tap water. Why is there pain reliever in tap water in most cities now? Why would they do that? So I was really kind of taken aback with him just basically just coming out and saying, I want to make America healthy again. Because I really hadn't been paying attention to much of what he said. My biggest takeaway was how he always said that he wanted to, dismantle the CIA and figure out what happened with his dad and his uncle. I was all on board for that anyway. I was like, dude, I honestly at one point was wanting Trump to pick him as his VP just so he could do that. But the thing that drives me absolutely crazy with all of these people that are trying to paint Trump as this right-wing extremist and everything else, Trump has never changed. Trump still says the same thing.
He's the same guy.
He's saying the same things that he said on the Oprah show 20 years ago, over 20 years ago, 30 years ago. He said on The View in 2015. He's saying the same things, and they lapped it up. The very same woman who was basically standing on the DNC stage saying, you get to live in a tent, you get to live in a tent, you all get to live in tents if we have our way, was also trash talking Trump 20 some odd years ago, hand wrote the dude a note about what an influence he was in her life and how they would make a great team if they ran for office together. A handwritten note on Oprah stationery.
I remember that. I remember the possibility of Oprah actually running for office with Trump, because that made the rounds and everybody was like buzzing about it.
That would be like the most. I remember because wasn't my mom, my aunt was a big Oprah fan, and my aunt was like, that would be like the most amazing ticket ever. And I'm like,
They were. I was in Germany at the time, and they were talking about it over there. Because obviously they did not like President Bush. So Kerry was, for the Germans, they didn't like him because he spoke French. The Germans still have they still have this mental block. But so when this made news over there, the possibility of Oprah being, running as an independent and with Trump or whatever, and it made the news over in Germany, for goodness sake. That's how influential he is. So,
but I mean, and I don't know. It's just all weird to me. Anyway, I think we've talked politics enough. We should probably get into
yes, yeah. Spent half an hour bitching about the DNC. Actually, no, I was just bitching about Kinzinger because I like that. I like to bitch about him. It makes me happy.
Hey, at this show, unlike the DNC, we are actually all about Aggie's joy. So I'm glad I can help.
Yeah. So anyway, tonight's topic is a fun one, deviating from politics. But it made me think because, oh my God, there's so many earworms. But you know what my problem is with earworms?
What's that?
They're not just in English. Because I listen to all sorts of music in Spanish, in French, in German. I listen to K-pop. I listen to J-pop. I listen to so much stuff. So my earworms are really not conventional. Although I have to give a quick shout out to our beloved friend Calvin, because he tried so hard to get me, but he actually posted one of my earworms unbeknownst to him.
Nice.
In the chat group.
Oh.
So But anyway, yeah. So tonight's topic is
Earworms.
Earworms. Yeah.
Dun dun dun.
They're fun. They can be bad though. I will say that they can be. They can absolutely drive you insane because there are some times that it will happen like at 11:30 at night, right before I go to bed, and I'll be laying in my bed, and this stupid earworm will be singing along in my brain. And honestly, the only cure that I have for this is to actually get up out of bed. I'll walk over to the living room area and I'll sit with the dog and I'll sing the damn song to her. Once I'm done with that, I can go to bed and then I can fall asleep. But once if I get an earworm that late, I actually have to get up and sing it.
That's a little weird.
It is weird, but it works.
I mean, as long as it works for you, All right. So am I going with the first one or are you going first?
Yeah, you can go ahead with the first one.
All right. So I have kind of an eclectic list of different earworms because I have all kinds of music taste too, but I don't really have any in other languages. This is probably my top 5 of all time earworms because once you hear this, you just can't really get it out of your head.
Oh God.
And it's just that part too. Everybody's gonna have that in their head for the rest of the night, I promise. That is Third Eye Blind, Semi-Charmed Life. And that do even to this day just randomly pops in my head and takes hours to go away. And I sort of hate the song now. So yeah, that's my number 5.
That's a good one though. For me, I have to say, mine are just completely random, but there is one that every so often sneaks in. And it's probably the song that the late singer of Warrant hated the most, and that's Cherry Pie.
Oh, I like that song. But yeah,
I do. I like the song, don't get me wrong. I like the song. He didn't. And yet it was their biggest hit. But if I hear that song, it stays with me for like 2 or 3 days. It is the most annoying thing. And so I don't go out of my way to avoid it. I don't hear it often enough, so it's okay. But it does. It sticks. It's like it's like Velcro, and I can't get rid of it. That was one of the that I think that was the song that I found out. If I lay down, if it's still in my head, I have to get up and sing it in order to just get rid of it.
Well, in case you guys haven't figured it out yet, we're sharing the earworms with you as we go. So here, now you get a sample of this one too.
She's my cherry pie, cooling one, such a sweet surprise. Tastes so good, make the poor man cry. Sweet cherry pie.
I wasn't sure about that, but I have to admit that part right there does pop into my head at random. So I can see that. I can see that. Everybody's leaving the chat right now. Rage quit. Rage quit. Rage quit. Rick's an asshole. You're just figuring this out?
MT's over at the KLRN chat, and he actually posted the lyrics to the Bugs Bunny show. And not gonna lie, that is one of the worst earworms of all time. And now there it is. It's in my head, and I'm gonna be singing it all night. Thank you very much.
Hey, they're reciprocating the earworms. Oh. Hang on, I'm trying to find my list again. Oh yeah, kind of in the same vein of the one you just did. This is my number 4. And it's probably one of my least favorite songs of theirs ever because it is such an earworm. Hang on. I'm not announcing this one first. You guys can figure it out. See if you know what it is.
I guess this time you're really leaving. I heard your suitcase say goodbye. Well, as my broken heart lies bleeding, you say true love, it's suicide. You say you've cried 1,000 rivers, but now you're swimming for the shore. You left me drowning in my tears, and you won't save me anymore. I'm praying to God you'll give me one more chance, girl. I'll be there for you.
Danny, put the lighter down. It's not that kind of show. Just kidding. Bon Jovi, I'll be there for you. Again, another chorus that just randomly gets stuck in your head. You can't get it out no matter how hard you try. And yeah, again, probably one of my, I don't know. I'm more of a not a mushy Bon Jovi fan, so I like their other music a little better. But anyway, that's my next one on the list.
Well, mine is probably going to drive people a little crazy. It's not a conventional song, from a band or anything like that. It's from a TV show. It's a theme from Gilligan's Island.
Oh, that's funny. Because my next one was going to be a TV show theme too.
That song can stay. It sets up camp. It's marooned. It's marooned in my head. Let's face it.
The Gilligan's Island theme started rattling around in Aggie's head for a 3-hour tour and got marooned. So
yes, that's pretty much how it happened.
So now it gets to be marooned in all of yous too in a minute.
and the thing is, it's very catchy. It's a short song, but it keeps going, and you keep going, and you keep singing it, and then you start. Oh, the worst part is when you start quoting Gilligan's Island with the song. That's bad. That that you need to take a break from whatever it is that you're doing. Y'all know I've been battling this stupid desk for weeks now. I'm almost done with the desk, but a couple of days ago I scored 2 of my Lena Claim tables on Facebook Marketplace. So I have them out outside of my garage, and I started sanding one of them, and it was a sanding song because I have to hand sand since it has a veneer on top. You don't want to use a rotary sander or orbital sander because you might blow the veneer. So I was hand sanding it. And as I'm hand sanding it, I'm singing the Gilligan's Island. And it was perfect because by the time I was done, I had gone from one edge to the other edge. And then I started it again to go from that edge to the first edge. So it was like the perfect song. And you don't think about it, but I think your mind it grabs onto these earworms because they're the perfect length for you to work on something, or it times you for certain things. And it's the same thing when I'm brushing my teeth. It's the same song in my head as I'm brushing my teeth. And my toothbrush has a timer on it, 2 minutes. So my brain knew there's a 2-minute song, and I it's in my head the entire time I'm brushing my teeth.
Technically, it's only a minute and a half, so you're a little short.
No, mine is 30 seconds, 30 seconds, 30 seconds, 30 seconds. It's the whole thing is 2 minutes.
Yeah, no, I meant the theme song.
Oh, the theme song. No, it's not. Yeah. Okay, it's not Gilligan's Island. It's another song.
Oh, I
in
thought you said
Spanish. No. It's a song in Spanish.
I was about to ask. I'm like, so wait a minute, you're brushing your teeth with the Gilligan's Island theme song in your head?
No. It's a song in Spanish by Camilo Sesto.
Makes more sense now. At least a little more sense now. But this earworm brought to you by our very own Aggie. You're welcome.
A tale of a fateful trip that started from this tropic port aboard this tiny ship. The mate was a mighty sailor man, the skipper brave and sure. 5 passengers set sail that day for a 3-hour tour. A 3-hour tour. The weather started getting rough, the tiny ship was tossed. If not for the courage of the fearless crew, the minnow would be lost. The minnow would be lost. The ship set ground on the shore of this uncharted desert isle, with Gilligan, the skipper too, a millionaire and his wife, a movie star, the professor and Marianne, here on Gilligan's Island. So this is the tale of our castaways. They're here for a long
Oh no. Not the outro.
Here's a little interesting side note regarding the entire show. So the type of sailing craft that was, if memory serves, had a maximum cruise speed of around 9 knots for emergency use, meaning that even if they were at flank speed, 3 hours, even accounting for drift, you're talking about a search grid of about 40 nautical miles. They weren't that far, guys.
No. They were not.
Just saying.
They were stranded, like, I don't know, 25 miles out to sea or something. And nobody bothered looking.
Who cares?
Somebody said, it's really funny because I'm not sure if anybody's familiar, but Hawaii, the state of Hawaii, all of the islands are public except for one, Niihau, which is the northernmost. It's past Kauai, is actually a private island. The entire plantation belongs to one family. And so when we were discussing the possibility, we thought maybe that's where they were stranded, and that's why nobody ever went to look for them, because nobody's allowed to go there for any reason except to do family business or whatever. So it's not like it has, planes don't go there for any reason unless they're private charter. The same with boats and stuff and yachts. So some of us were saying, well, maybe that's where they ended up.
that would be kind of it. But yeah, it's just funny, like when you grow up enough to start figuring out that half the things that you watched when you were little just make zero sense. Like,
no, but you have to have that willing suspension of disbelief in order to get through TV.
Like when you figure out the real reason that Nemo's dad was so desperate to find him.
Yes. Yes, that is. Let's not talk about that because that just makes me sad. So anyway, what's your next one?
My next one, also interestingly enough, from a theme song. So I'm going to play it first, then we'll talk about it a bit.
Making your way in the world today takes everything you've got. Taking a break from all your worries sure would help a lot. Wouldn't you like to get away? All those nights when you've got your check is in the mail, and your little angel hung the cat up by its tail, and your third fiance didn't show. Sometimes you wanna go where everybody knows your name. And they're always glad you came.
Since most of you have probably never heard that little part of the intro there, now you're probably understanding why this was a theme song about a bar. It had a dark side.
A very dark side, yeah.
Oh, but yeah, that I think that song lived in my head for most of the mid to late 80s.
Well, and it had died off until Applebee's decided to bring it back in their commercials.
I know, right?
Oh, and then it was, oh no, not again. And I was in Boston, I think it was 2008. My sister wanted me to go with her and her daughters so that I could like keep them entertained while my sister was attending a conference. And there was a Cheers, you know, there's a Cheers bar and restaurant in Boston, but it wasn't that the TV show was based on that. It was that was based on the TV show. So we tried going to eat there, and it was like there was a 3-hour wait because there were so many tourists in town. And I said, you know what? Let's just find some highfalutin place that no tourist is going to be wanting to go to because it's too expensive, and eat there. And so we did. She had an expense account. That's why we went. So that was nice.
Hopefully she still doesn't have that expense account, or she probably won't by Monday.
Oh no, this was years ago. Different company. And yeah, to be fair, they all knew that she was traveling with family, and we were covered. So that was nice.
Oh no.
But then she went to work for the DOD, and that stopped.
Yeah. They're a lot more sticky. Just saying.
Just a wee bit. Just a wee bit. So.
But yeah, I mean the funny thing is, I think I actually got more into Cheers when they started doing like the syndication, because I started watching it like in the afternoons and stuff. It's not that I didn't ever really like the show, just once I could kind of watch it when I wanted to, because that was when VCRs were still kind of fairly expensive and it was a pain to record anything. It was just nice to be able, I can watch it now instead of so. But I was also weird because even my dad said that I was weird because I had the biggest crush on the actress that played Diane, and he was like, so if you got your choice between Kirstie Alley or Shelley Duvall, or
Shelley Long.
Shelley Long.
Shelley Long.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I had to stop myself because I almost said Shelley Duvall. But he's like, you'd pick Shelley Long? Yeah. She kind of reminded me of a girl I had a crush on in the 8th grade, so that's probably why. But anyway.
I always thought BB Newirth was really pretty and really Morticia Addams kind of way. So that was
Raptor.
Lilith. For those of you who were familiar with it. Lilith.
Well, I wasn't exactly sure until you said Morticia, and I was like, oh.
Lilith. Yeah. Okay. All right. So I guess it's my turn.
Yeah, first time I saw Lilith with her hair down, I was like, damn, Fraser, you're doing good.
Yeah, because, when the show started, she always had a chignon in the back of, a bun in the back by the nape of her neck. And it was very severe. And she wore a very severe looking tailored suit that was buttoned all the way up to the neck and everything. And I believe the very first time that he described her, Fraser described Lilith, because she was working in his department, was an ice cube in heels. And of course, they end up getting married. Fraser had some of the best one-liners and some of the best descriptions. I learned a lot from Fraser. So what you see whenever I'm replying to somebody on the left on Twitter, I got that from Fraser. That style that came from watching Fraser. Yeah,
that explains some of the cadence I've noticed.
Yes. All right. I guess it's my turn.
Yep, it's your turn.
All right, Calvin, this one's for you. Rick Astley's Never Gonna Give You Up.
Oh, I should have known.
That's why when he posted it in the group, I was like, how did you know? It's on my list. I love that song. But once I start singing that, it's with me for a week. It is with me for a week, and I don't mind it as much as other people mind it, because I will sing it out loud to anybody who will be next to me. It doesn't matter where I'm at. As a matter of fact, 3 weeks ago, I was grocery shopping and I sang the whole dang thing going up and down the aisles, and I did not care. I was just doing it on my own, and it didn't matter that it was some other song on the speakers in the store. Nope. I was going to sing my song. I was going to do my thing, and I did. And I've done it before. And actually, the last time I did it with a relative, it was my sister, the one that lives back near San Antonio, and we were, I think we were at Saks Fifth Avenue, because she was looking for, I don't know what she was shopping for, but it was some brand thing, and she had to have it. And of course, Saks was the only place that carried it. So we were at Saks, and I started singing it. And she told me to be quiet, and I said, it is impossible. And she was like, it's not even playing on the speakers. I know that. I just kept singing it. And to make matters worse for her, the gal that was helping her started singing it too. So I was a little vindicated. But yeah, that's what I call an earworm with crampons. You know what a crampon is?
No, I do not. You're gonna have to explain that one.
It's a mountain climbing term. It's those little things you stick inside the side of the mountain to hold the rope so that you don't fall.
I thought those were called pitons, but maybe I don't. I've never climbed. Anyway, so again, this earworm brought to you by Aggie. But then I have a little anecdote about Cheers before we move on.
We're no strangers to love. You know the rules, and so do I. I've full commitments, what I'm thinking of. You wouldn't get this from any other guy. I just want to tell you how I'm feeling. Gotta make you understand. Never gonna give you up. Never gonna let you down. Never gonna run around and desert you. Never gonna make you cry.
Okay,
We're
sorry.
gonna say goodbye.
It's stuck in my head. So, two little interesting side notes. One, years ago, I had a sock account called Captain Rick Roll. I used to use to torment Angie with anything Rick Astley related until I lost access to that email. And I still randomly do it from this account, but now she thinks it's funny. It's not annoyed by it anymore, so it's not as much fun. Back to Cheers, in case none of you have figured it out yet. Cheers is a holodeck program. Half the people that were in Cheers were also in Star Trek. Cheers is a holodeck program.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
It's
Obviously, Kirstie Alley, right?
Yep, Kirstie Alley.
Fraser Crane.
Yep. Kelsey Grammer.
I believe, was it Norm?
Norm was not, but
BB Newworth. I know
Kate
she was in.
Mulgrew. Yeah, BB
Kate
Newworth.
Mulgrew.
Yeah, BB Newworth, Kate Mulgrew. There's one other one. And Raptor, it's not about whether you needed to see it or not. It's whether you earned it, and y'all earned it. So there. I turned on my camera and was dancing.
It's such a great song. I like it.
Oh, that's funny because that was actually going to be one of mine. So now I got to find the makeup. Hang on.
You can play it again. It's fine.
Yeah, why not? It's already queued. You guys get it again. We'll just pick it up where I left it off.
Never gonna give you up. Run around and desert you. Never gonna make you cry. Never gonna say goodbye. Never gonna tell a lie and hurt you. Never gonna give you up. Never gonna let you down. Never gonna run around and desert you. Never gonna make you cry. Never gonna say.
But yeah, that song was probably one of, I wouldn't say it was my first ever earworm, but it was one of the ones that I really noticed just got really, 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 really stuck in my head. That wasn't like a TV theme song or something, because it was just one of those songs that just I mean, not to steal a lyric, but once it got in your head, it was never going to give you up.
Nope, it does not give you up at all. I just love that particular song has such a following, and it has become music canon. I mean, people use it in memes. People, the whole thing about Rick rolling. It's and he has achieved this iconic status. I think, was it the Foo Fighters that invited him to sing that song on stage?
Yeah, it was.
God, it doesn't get any better than that.
Oh, the funny thing is, I think that's pardon me. I think that's the only thing he's ever really put out that took off, and it's like an iconic thing now. It's weird because most people that have the whole one-hit wonder thing, it never really takes that kind of status. But I mean, everybody knows it. I mean,
it does.
It's like you said, you were singing it through the store, and then next thing you know, one of the workers was singing it because everybody knows the song.
Yeah, my sister was not happy, but I didn't care. I didn't care. I became Ricky Gervais at that moment. I didn't care.
It's like, hey sis, this is about my joy, not yours.
But anyway.
All right, so what else you got for us?
Well, I know this sounds stupid, but the Plop Plop Fizz Fizz song.
Oh, good Lord.
I know. It's silly.
It's silly, but you're not wrong. Because I remember that song when I was a kid. And I remember my dad laughing his ass off one time because I had to be maybe 6, 7 years old. And I'm just walking through the living room. Plop, plop, fizz, fizz. Oh, what a relief it is. My dad's like, what are you doing? I'm singing. You're singing the Alka-Seltzer song. So it's a good song. But the one now, as far as somebody who absolutely loved commercials, that was my kid brother, Chris. He absolutely loved commercials. And this is back before, we had like a remote control. We had the cable box, that had a little slider that was connected to the wall, like actually connected to the wall. And I came out one morning and I turned on some cartoons and I went to go make cereal for me and him. And I came back and he was changing the channel. But when he was changing the channel, he would change the channel, find commercials, sing along with pretty much every single commercial, wait till the regular show came on, change channels again till he found more commercials and started singing along. My brother was the entire inspiration for that entire BS out of Demolition Man, I swear.
That movie had more earworms because of the stupid jingle songs that they put on the radio than any other movie that I can think of. And I have to say, because I came to the States in mid-70s, I guess 1976 is when I got here. I had missed a lot of the commercials that eventually went away by the time I started listening to commercials or watching TV for commercials, because my dad was rather strict. When we were learning English, we could only watch the news and Sesame Street. Those were the only two shows that because they fully immersed us in English. So there were some commercials, jingles in that film that I did not understand. And I thought those jingles were specifically made for the film. And no, my friends told me, no, 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 these were commercials back in the 70s when we were kids. And I'm like, really? Because I missed all of them. No, I had to have an education. I had to have an education on this stuff. So that was pretty cool though. I have to say, learning about all of these jingles. And a lot of people don't know, but crafting a jingle is very difficult thing to do. So I do appreciate the finesse of a well-crafted jingle that sticks in your head like an ice pick. So that was one of mine, the pop plop plop tits face one.
Amish in the house. But yeah, no, it's funny because you mentioning jingles reminds me of 3.5 Men, where Charlie's whole gig was, writing jingles for commercials.
Yes.
And how often he's just sitting there staring at a blank page, drink after drink after drink. I have to come up with an idea.
It's difficult. We have several members of KLRN that are musically inclined. Al specifically comes to mind, and I don't know how he does it. I don't know how Jeff does it either, because he can also, compose. But I'm just like, yeah, I don't do that. And it's funny. I can write a poem, but you asked me to write a song, and I'm like that little, the wind up toy that gets stuck against the wall and it just keeps going. Yeah, that's what my brain does.
You're like, no, kid, put it to music. That's why why you write the lyrics and tell somebody else to write the song.
Oh, yeah, that's true. That's true. That's pretty much what I should do, but I don't think about it.
Because it stresses you out, man.
Please. Oh, God, it's in my head.
Oh, what a relief it is.
Please, go to your next one so it'll get out.
I don't know if this one's going to help much. You guys will probably recognize this one. Here we go.
All the old paintings on the tomb, they do the stand dance, don't you know? If they move too quick, they're falling down like a domino. All the brothers are men by the Nile, they got the money on a bet. All crocodiles, they snap their teeth on your cigarette. Foreign types with the hookah pipe say, walk like an Egyptian.
The Bengals walk like an coolest earworm ever.
That was great. And I have to say, I loved the video, but not for the reasons that guys did. I mean, yes, the women were absolutely stunning. I just love the everyday people doing the walk, walking like Egyptian.
Yeah.
That to me was really cute. Most people like the Susanna Hoffs side of it, but I do not blame them. That woman is still stunningly beautiful, and she is definitely goals. So
whatever.
Mhm. Oh my God, you've seen her. She's perfect.
Who says you're not?
I'm not. But oh no, that's a really good earworm to have. I mean, you can zone out with that song and get a bunch of stuff done. There are some earworms you cannot do that to.
Yeah.
But that one you can.
Yeah, that one's one of that, and that's why I said it the way I said it. To me, that one's always been more of kind of a more pleasant earworm because it's really upbeat. I mean, that's like even with as tired as I am, as soon as it came on, my feet were tapping, and I'm like, oh, I forgot how much I like this song. and I'm exhausted because I've been working until midnight all week. Anyway, hang on. Before we move on to whatever your next one is, I got to do this so Orty's not feeling trapped in OCD land.
Okay.
Time. See what's become of me. Time, see what's become of me. While I looked around for my possibilities, I was so hard to please. Look around, leaves are brown, and the sky is a hazy shade of winter.
Okay, I'm not sure any more of it. You'll have to listen to it afterwards. I actually forgot what a kick that song had to it, though. To be honest, I haven't listened to it in a while.
It was, I mean, I gotta say, when it came to, you know, pop music and all that stuff, I wasn't really good at remembering lyrics. But when that song came out, I was so grateful because I have pretty much memorized everything in the Simon Garfunkel canon. So when that song came out, I could sing it. And, you know, like I said, the beat was different from what the, you know, Simon and Garfunkel had done, but the lyrics were the same. So I was like, people were looking at me going, how do you know this song? This song just came out. And I'm like, this is not a new song. Okay. But, you know, but people didn't, but I mean, seriously, people my age, when the song came out, most of them didn't know who Paul Simon and Art Garfunkel were. So this song comes out, I'm singing it, and I'm immediately, people are like, how can you possibly know the lyrics so quickly? And I'm like, well, let me tell you a secret. And when I told them, they were like, nuh-uh, this is a new song. And I'm like, you know, have you heard of a cover song? This is what this is. Okay. It's like, and it was awesomely done. It really was. I mean, I was blown away by how well done that cover was. It was great. It's still one of my favorites.
Well, and it still happens today. That's like one of the most iconic, I think it was Snoop Dogg songs of all time, actually has the bass line from the guy from, I cannot remember his name for the life of me, but the guy who played Ducky, who just passed away, put out a jazz album years ago.
Oh,
and everybody has sampled the most iconic song from that album and made it a part of, like, it's like hip hop now. It's everywhere. And that's actually on my list for later, or was till I forgot his name. I had to look.
David McCallum.
There we go.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of people didn't know that he was a very accomplished musician. A lot of people from the Isles are very accomplished musicians before they become actors.
Well, I mean, it's the Isles. It's very gray and gloomy there. They have to find a way to lift their spirits.
Well, you know, not a lot of people know, but Princess she escapes me. The Duchess, the Princess of Wales.
Yeah, I'm not going to be any help there. Sorry,
Kate. She
There we go.
is an accomplished pianist, and I'm not saying chopsticks. I'm talking level 5 pianist. I mean, she is fantastic, but you know, she wasn't known for that. But it's not something that, you know, she advertised. She didn't, you know, have records or anything like that. So, but yeah, and let's not forget Anthony Hopkins composing an entire symphony. So Yeah, that was absolutely magical. When I forget when it happened. It happened a few years ago. He was invited to the first live performance of the symphony that he had written many, many years before, and he had never heard it. And it was, he's sitting there in the audience listening to it, and he's like, "Oh my God, it's actually good."
Yeah.
But it was quite neat to watch. Anyway, who else? Is it you or is it me?
No, it's you.
Oh God, it's me. Okay, so I know this is silly, but The Clash, "Should I Stay or Should I Go?"
No,
is
that's an
one of
awesome.
it is one of my all-time favorite songs, but it's also one of my all-time deepest earworms because of the chorus. You have them talking in English and in Spanish. So I'm doing both. And most people I grew up with could only do one or the other. But that was, I mean, when I was in school, that song, man, that would come on, and I would be the only one that could do both the Spanish and the English parts of it. And then I had to translate, to whoever didn't know the other part, because there were some people who didn't know English very well at school either. So that was a lot of fun. But that's a good one. That's what I call a good earworm. It keeps you going. It's very peppy, and it's just a lot of fun, especially when you know both.
You mean this one?
That one.
Darling, you got to know. Should I stay or should I go? If you say that you are mine, I'll be here till the end of time. So you got to let me know. Should I stay or should I go? It's always tease, tease, tease. You're happy when I'm on my knees. One day it's fine and next it's black. So if you want me off your back, well come on and let me know. Should I stay or should I go? Should I stay or should I go now?
Oh, me quedo, oh, me boy.
And if I stay, it will be double. So come on and let me know.
I bet you I'm going to have to come out and sing that to my dog tonight.
Well, I'm sure you'll have to do it at least once. All right. Because it depends on which one of these ones that winds up getting stuck in your head. I've got pretty even money that I think I may have found one that might get stuck in your head. And I'm not saying nothing to nobody till after I hit the button.
Fine.
Singe ich ein Lied für dich von 99 Luftballons auf ihrem Weg zum Horizont. Denkst du vielleicht grad an mich? Singe ich ein Lied für dich von 99 Luftballons, dass sowas von sowas kommt. interessiert man für UFOs aus dem All.
You may not remember, but
Oh, what?
you may
Sorry,
not
I was
remember.
singing it in German.
No, you're good. You may not remember. We've discussed this song before, and I remembered that you preferred the German version, which is why I loaded that one.
I do. I love the fact that when this song came out, we got it over here in English, right? But every so often, the DJs would actually play the German version. And of course, at the time, I didn't know any German. But I could hear one phrase that I did understand. Captain Kirk. So I was like, I don't care what the song is saying. I like the fact that it references Captain Kirk.
Pretty
And
funny.
it's funny because you do the English version and the German version. They don't say the same thing, obviously, because but for rhyming purposes. But at the time that the song was written, there was a lot of angst over in Germany. It being the Iron Curtain was still up. Everybody thought that Reagan was going to kill us all. That kind of thing. So. But it's a cool song, and yes, it does stick in your head, but not as for me. This one doesn't stick as much as Rick. Rick Astley is just there forever and ever.
Forever and ever. He's
And
never gonna give you up. Never
but the
gonna
thing is, it's like, and you're right. A lot of the songs that tend to stick in our heads are usually one-hit wonders. At least one-hit wonders over here. Anyway,
Yeah.
I mean, Nena went on to have a very, very long career over in Germany, as I understand it. And Rick Astley is still singing and everything. But, Dexy's Midnight Runners with Common Eileen. That one song. Safety Dance. Yeah, it's a good song. And honest to God, I did not know what the lyrics meant until maybe 10 years ago. So yeah, I'm a slow learner. But Safety Dance, there's another one-hit wonder.
So now we've had two nods to Ron tonight because everybody started shouting out Norm when I was playing this year's song, and now we've got Safety Dance.
Safety Dance, yes.
I
miss that guy.
Ron's most requested bumper ever. I'm only sad that I never got the producer at KOKC to play it for me just once when I knew he was listening because I kept trying to get it to him. He's like, I'm not playing that song. Like, you suck. But anyway, but yeah, I mean, I've already told that story. That song is actually one that I was not a huge fan of until I figured out how much of a fan of it he was, and everybody else was giving him crap over it. So I just like, fuck it, I'll play it. Now I play it all the time. And it comes on and I get all mushy.
Wait, your turn, right?
Actually, I think it's technically your turn again.
What? Again? But
you
I
didn't
just
do it. No, I did red balloons.
Oh, that's right. You did red balloons. But that's 5, isn't it?
Yeah, but I have a bonus one, so I didn't know if you had another one or not.
Oh no, Safety Dance is my bonus, I have to say. But go ahead with yours.
All right. I've already kind of hinted at this one. This one is actually a really old song that has been revived so many times that it's now part of music history. That was David McCallum, best known for The Man from U.N.C.L.E. and also playing Ducky on NCIS, but also a very well-known jazz musician who liked to put out music in the vibe of James Bond, and that one has been resampled hundreds of times and has
Oh, yes.
been on albums from folks like Snoop Dogg and everybody else.
Yeah, everybody. That riff is just, it's iconic now.
Which couldn't happen to a nicer guy. He's one of the few that I actually wish I would have gotten a chance to meet in real life, because I know people that have met him, and from what I've been told, he was just a really cool dude. So I was like, maybe one of these days I'll be somewhere where he's at. Never happened, but anyway.
It's amazing because we were in a discussion for just general music and everything, and a friend of mine brought up Eye in the Sky, Alan Parsons Project, and it was funny. I have it on vinyl. Okay, I have that one on vinyl. I have Ammonia Avenue on vinyl. I have Turn Up a Friendly Car on vinyl. I love Alan Parsons Project. But one of the things that a lot of people don't know is Eye in the Sky, whenever it was played, they started at a certain point in the song. But the hi-hat at the beginning is what the Chicago Bulls used to use to introduce all the players onto the court. So if you hear the entire song, you start hearing that part and you're like, oh my God, they stole it from the Chicago Bulls? No. The Bulls stole it from Alan Parsons Project. But, Alan Parsons was such a gifted musician. It was no wonder that Pink Floyd wanted him to work on Dark Side of the Moon. He did a lot. And so, but he's one of those, what I like to call quiet entities, because they do have a huge discography, but they didn't achieve the stardom that some people do. So I put him there with Mike Oldfield as well, because Mike Oldfield is just this gargantuan person, but most people over here only know him for Tubular Bells. And I'm like, yeah, he's done a little more than that. But it was funny to me because that is also an earworm. Eye in the Sky is a total earworm for me. Don't Answer Me is another earworm for me. In this case, it's just very famous. It's a famous group that didn't have a one-hit wonder or anything, but I could sit and sing Eye in the Sky completely. But it's one of the songs that's my wind down song after doing something like, sanding the table to the Gilligan's Island song, or, if I've been cleaning the bathrooms, or if I'm doing laundry or whatever. If I'm doing laundry, I will sing that song because it's good. It's just low key. It's really, it's very nice and calming to me. And some of those lyrics, are just fantastic. So if you guys have not really listened to Eye in the Sky, I suggest you do, because it is the classic. But start from the beginning and you'll see what I'm talking about, because a lot of people used to start it after that point, and they didn't know that particular riff that's used by the Chicago Bulls, and it's now used by a lot of other sports teams to introduce their sports players and all that stuff. That was actually from a song from Alan Parsons Project called Eye in the Sky. So it's one of my favorite. You didn't know that?
Like, how did you not know that?
Yeah, I really like that song. I bet you that's gonna be the one tonight. I mean, some of the lyrics are just fantastic. The sun in your eyes makes all of the lies worth believing. That's a great line. Anyway, moving on.
Well, we are still going to play your bonus one, so hang on. I'm getting it queued up now.
Oh, really?
We have
Run!
Ron song. We have to play it.
Dance if we want to. We can leave your friends behind. Cause your friends don't dance, and if they don't dance, well, they're no friends of mine. See, we can go where we want to, places they will never find. And we can act like we come from out of this world, leave the real one far behind. We can dance. We can go if we want to. Night is young and so am I. And we can just feel neat from our hearts to our feet and surprise them with a victory cry. Say, we can act if we want to. If we don't, nobody will. And you can act real rude and totally removed, and I can act like an imbecile. Say, we can dance, everything's out of control. We can dance, we're doing it from pole to pole.
Oh, I miss Ron.
Oh, every day. I still, anytime I'm struggling to get motivated, I still have him in my head. Get your ass up and do a show.
Yes. He was really good about motivating. Really good about it. Well, I guess with that, did you want to give your bonus before we go?
No, I already did.
Okay. Oh, that's right. Sorry. I was still.
I thought I was the tired one here.
No, I'm just. There are too many earworms in my head now. I'm gonna go with a safety dance, though. I'm gonna go to the kitchen with a safety dance and clean up. So, all righty. Well, since we're at the top of the hour, why don't you go ahead, take a deep breath, and tell us where we can find you? Because I know you're doing a lot of new things.
Holy crap! Do I have to? Okay.
Yeah, you do.
Here in just a few minutes, you can catch me here back on KLRN Radio doing Going Mental with John Katz. And tomorrow night, I'll be producing for Front Porch Forensics. And that is at 9 p.m. Eastern. Sunday night, I'll be doing America Off the Rails at 9:30 p.m. Eastern. Monday through Friday, I do the Rick Robinson Show now here on KLRN Radio. That is now noon to 2 my time, or 1 to 3 p.m. Eastern. And then I produce for all kinds of stuff over here in the evenings. Wednesday nights, Full Boat, the Whatever program, then usually followed by the Conservative Curmudgeon. This coming week, it should be our monthly dose of toxic masculinity, though. And then after that will be FUBAR, and then Rick and Orty. Thursday nights, Jen and Rick, 10 p.m. Eastern. Friday nights, back around here doing this with you. And then next Saturday night will be Juxtaposition. And then also now I am the news editor of Digital Beacon, which has been spinning up a lot of news coverage, including covering the entire Democratic National Convention, which is why I've been up until midnight every night this week, because the same people that want you to trust them to run the country can't even run a schedule. Okay, sorry. I need to get better there.
A little bit.
Other than that, you can find me as a contributor on twitchy.com, misfitspolitics.com, and theloftusparty.com. I also produce the Loftus Party podcast, which drops on Tuesdays. You can also hang out with me on most social media platforms at RowdyRick73. How about you, Aggie? Where can people find some of your wonderfulness?
You can find me at Aggie Rican and at Aggie the Barkeep. Those are over on X. You can find me Tuesday nights, 8:30 p.m. Eastern, doing the Cocktail Lounge with the ever suave Brad Slager. Friday nights, 8:30 p.m. Eastern, doing He Said, She Said with the awesome Rick. That's you, by the way. Next Wednesday is the last Wednesday of the month. Sure. And the guys get together on the last Wednesday of every month at 8 p.m. Eastern and do Toxic Masculinity. We host a Babe of the Month, and I bring the drink of the evening. And last but not least, Jeff and I have teamed up, and now we have a book podcast on the first Monday of every month. That's what I meant to say. At 8:30 p.m. Eastern, Spirited Books. And you can catch us there. You can catch us on X and at klrnradio.com. We talk about all of these obscure books that we find that are out of our comfort zone, and we read and we review. And it's, it is not limited to any particular genre. So tune in for that, because sometimes you will find some absolute gems. Thanks for joining us, everyone.
Speaking of, if you like spirited books, go to our store. There's Spirited Books merch now.
Yes, we have merchandise. We have a Spirited Books mug and a Spirited Books pint glass, which is perfect. I think we're gonna get a wine glass too.
I haven't found a wine glass yet. I have found a wine tumbler though. So
that would be even better, because after a while you don't want to mess with a stem on a glass because you can't judge distance. So it's better if it doesn't have a stem.
But yeah, I've been thinking about getting a graphic put together for the red wine and making sure they have wine tumblers. For,
Yeah, that'd be great.
All right.
Thanks for tuning in, everyone.
Enjoy the rest of your Friday night. Katz and I should be back in a minute. I'm still waiting to hear from them. So. Bye, everybody.
Bye.